Hello. So I'm having some technical difficulties. Apparently, I have scheduled I had scheduled the Zoom meeting, but technology being what it is not allowing me access to my account. Okay? But we're not going to let this stop us. Okay? So the subject is creating the experience while being in the journey to the destination. Okay? So, what would you say is more important, the journey or the destination? The process of going towards the end goal or the moment that you actually achieve the goal? So, most of us would probably say the latter. Most of us would probably not want to focus on the here and now that exists in the present moment. This part of the journey that exists while we're on our way to the destination. We would rather focus on there, in the future, the unknown, the anticipated, the moment in time when we reach the end of the goal or the end of the journey, that we can say, the end. I did it. We're always so focused on the prize or the end goal. We make every effort to keep our eye on the ending that we lose being present during the journey. This part of the journey where we learn and grow the most, where we transform. Okay. But we want to get to the finish line so fast that we don't realize the value of the learning here and now. We don't realize the value of the growing here and now. And we don't realize the value of the transforming that we go through during the journey because we're so hoping to pass this part as quickly as possible. Why do we want to rush this part as quickly as possible? Hmm? Why do you think it is? So let's imagine you taking a journey where you're traveling through a country that you've never been to, but you're so focused on reaching the final destination that you don't take the time to be present and enjoy the scenery before you. You don't take the time to take in the beauty of the country or its people. You don't take the time to relish in the recreation that the experience may offer. For the most part, when we pursue a goal or resolution, we imagine how it will be when we finally achieve or reach it. It's easy to imagine how happy we will be, how nice life will be for us. We imagine how once we achieve our goal or resolution, how successful we will be, and how maybe life will be perfect, if only, right? So imagine that you have a goal of maybe earning, let's say, $100,000, maybe by the end of the 3 years. Now, the first instinct usually is to keep our eye on the prize, to stay focused on reaching the moment when we can finally say, I made it. I now earn $100,000. And what's usually followed is, now I can rest. Now I can take it easy. And we say this because we think, you know, we think this is it. We detract from looking back to when we were in the midst of the journey, where we were acquiring the knowledge, learning the skills that it took us to earn $100,000. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with relishing your achievement. What I'm saying is that in each part of the process to getting there can also be a fruitful experience. Also, being there is not better than here. Being there at the end is not any better than here. Okay? So, once again, we imagine that we will be oh so happy, so much happier than we are now in this present moment in which we've yet to achieve our goal. But what if there is not being happier? What if there is no being happier there in the future than here in the present? Because the experience of being happy is in our minds. We create the experience here in our minds with what we think and with how we think. The state of being happy is something that we create in our minds with our thoughts. We think we're happy, and therefore we create the feeling of being happy here and now in the present. Our thoughts about being happier in the future are just thoughts, right? Ideas that we imagine about ourselves in the future. So I want you to think back to a memory when you felt happy. Take a moment. Now, think back to a different memory when you felt happier, right? Take another moment. And now, think back to another memory when in your mind you felt the happiest. And now I ask you, is there truly a difference between the levels of these feelings? Happy, happier, happiest? The experiences may have been different. One experience may be more memorable or significant than the others, but the feeling, could you honestly say that there was a different level or depth between one and the other of being happy? When being happy is just being, right? Think about it. Okay, so let's talk about the experience of during the process, okay? About intentionally creating each and every second of the experience during the journey. During the process of getting to the end goal and savoring the moment. Think about how you can create the state of being happy as you go through each phase, as you grow, as you learn. Usually, we only give value to when we reach the goal. But what if we could also see the value in the moments when we're transforming, when we're learning into the person who is inching closer to the goal? And you might be asking, why is this important? Why should I care about this? Right? And I'll tell you that, okay, so it's important because I want to remind you that we create the experience in our mind. We create the experience in our imagination, right? And I'm not talking about experience as in skill. I'm referring to the experience of being in the process towards the goal, right? We create the experience in our imagination, and we can enjoy going to the part of the journey as much as we can enjoy the destination or the end goal. Okay? All that I'm offering is you create the awareness that happiness can be enjoyed in the process as much as at the point of the goal where you have achieved it. Why and how? It's all in your mind. I hope this gets you to thinking, to creating more awareness about how you want to think, how you want to create your thoughts. I hope this, offers some thoughts and um, in the process of creating more awareness. Thank you for listening.